Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So let's have a look at story of the IP token or the IP coin. Of course, it is a layer 1. Now this is a setup from my last video and it worked really well. So again, I did say that if we get a breakdown below this trend line, and we did not get that here, but again we did get it here, and after hitting a high of 14.9, it started to go down and we had this massive breakdown. I would say we did not have any response here. I thought we would, but there was no response. Again, there like somewhere around 5.4 to 5.2 there was some response. The token did go up as high as 5.9, but again after that we had another breakdown, and finally it found support here around 3.4, or you can say somewhere around 3.2. And again now we have a really good surge as well. So let's break it down what is happening with the IP and where the token is headed. So I will just directly go to the news on why the token is going up. So basically, Story Foundation has completed over 60% of its planned IP purchases from the open market. The foundation will extend the buyback program from 82 million to 100 million, and the purchasing window to Feb 1st. So basically, initially they announced that they will be buying 82 million worth of IP tokens from the open market. Now they have extended to 100 million, and and also they have extended their window of buying as well to Feb 1st. And by that date, the foundation plans to deploy over 100 million toward IP. That means they are putting a lot of cash, or you can say a lot of liquidity into the market through this purchase as well. So that's really interesting, I would say. But overall, this does mean that the IP is becoming valuable day by day, at least from the foundation's perspective. Now, in terms of the impact of the buyback, so whenever they do announce the buyback, or whenever they do post about the buyback update, the IP does sees a really good price jump. So again, as of now, we have a really good response from the price as well. So if this continues, the possibility of it going as high as, I would say, 4.3 is really high. And if we do get a breakout from this trend line that it has been ever since hitting its all-time high, so again, if it does breaks above from here, and if it breaks its downtrend, I think it can push as high as 4.6 or as high as 5.9. That is a possibility, because if you look at the IP, it was basically ignoring the market. It was just going all out without any resistance, as you can see. And that price, or that price action, or if you look here, this price action seems pretty much manipulative, I would say. Again, as they were buying from the open market, that does say that this was due to that. But again, if you look here, the market was struggling, but the IP slowly crawled its way up towards 7.5. And again, after a small correction, same thing happened. And if you look here, the exact same thing happened back here as well. When it actually hit 7.9, it went as low as 2.4, and after that it did this exact run. So again, I think the possibility of it doing this exact same pattern is really high. And if it does do that, that means we are most likely going as high as $28, because here the high was around 7.8 and here it was around 14.9. So again, this must be 28 point or 29 $29 level if it does do that. But again, to do that, it does need to break above from this trend line. That is the first target. After that, it needs to break above from 7.5, and after that it needs to go above from $10 and eventually break this level of 14.9. Again, the possibility of pulling it off is, I would say, really low, but again, it can do that because in the past it has done that. So I think there is a possibility that we could see a new all-time high from the IP as well. Now, in terms of the sell pressure, so if we just look at its tokenomics, It doesn't have a max supply, of course. It is an inflationary token, as you can see here. But again, if you look here, starting from starting from 2026, there will be token unlocks happening for I think it is from the Feb 1st. That is when the early backers will get their tokens, 3 million IP tokens, and the core contributors will also get their tokens as well. So basically, when by Feb 1st, they will stop purchasing from the open market, and that is when we will see this token unlocks. So this is really interesting. So if you look here, these stats line up exactly. So the possibility of it IP going down after, I think the IP will most likely continue to go up till Feb 1st if market remains stable, and I think after we get these token unlocks, the IP will most likely go down, I think from Feb 15th or even Feb 20th, I think. So again, the possibility of it getting a lot of sell pressure starting from the Feb is really high, because these token unlocks are going to be on a monthly basis, and basically these investors will be getting a lot of tokens on a monthly basis, like around 20 million worth of tokens on monthly basis. So that is a lot of sell pressure, and I think IP will most likely struggle when these token unlocks happen. So but as of now, I think the IP looks good for at least 1 to 2 months. So if it doesn't reject here, let's say if it breaks out from here, I think the possibility of it going as $6 is really high, because if we do see a breakout from here, I think we'll most likely see a really good breakout. And if that happens, I think the IP is going towards 5.9 or even $6. But if it rejects here, let's say if it doesn't go from here, I think the possibility of it going as low as, I would say, 2.4 is really high. But again, they are injecting a direct capital into the IP, so possibility of it going higher is, I think, relatively high. So let's see what happens. Overall, I'm expecting a breakout, and if that breakout happens, I think 5.9 or even it can go as high as $6 as well. Overall, I think considering this pattern, and after that this move and this move, I think we are looking at $28, to be honest. That is what I think, because if you look here, it went up directly to the $8. After that, it went as low as 2.4. So if we just look at the levels, so this was over 68% crash, and if you look here, we again have a crash of 78%. And now after doing that crash, the token did go up basically 500%. So again, if it does do the exact same thing, we are most probably looking at a surge as high as $21. Okay, so never mind 28, but I think $21 is a possibility. Let's see if it follows the same pattern. I think it can hit $21 as well. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will be back with more. Thank you.